Meanwhile, an intel hearing on claims Russians hacked our election to help Donald Trump has been canceled as U.S. spy agencies refuse to show up on Capitol Hill. The allegations now taking a nastier turn. Watch.
The Republican nominee himself calling on Russia to hack his opponent. It might be an indication that he was obviously aware and concluded, based on whatever facts or sources he had available to him, that Russia was involved.
The White House suggesting Mr. Trump knew that Russia was involved, but our next guest claims they had nothing to do with it. Here to explain is Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano.
I hope that Josh Earnest was as much in jest in what he just said as Donald Trump was when he said during the campaign, do all the hacking you want. No one could have taken that
He said, hey, Russia, go find the 30,000 emails that she deleted.
Correct.
That's what he said.
Correct. Look, who had an incentive to prevent Mrs. Clinton from becoming president of the United States?
Bill?
Whose agents had their real identities and locations exposed by the reckless manner
U.S.
in which
Intel?
There you go. Who had access to all of this material without having to steal any codes? United States intelligence agents who did not want this woman in charge of the federal government and exposing more agents and resources and undercover assets in the Middle East to who they truly are and where they were.
What about the Daily Mail story, Judge, about how WikiLeaks wound up with the Hillary email? They say it wasn't a hacker. It was an inside leaker, somebody from inside somewhere who gave the guy the Hillary emails in a park and says, doesn't know whether or not Russia hacked. However, WikiLeaks got him in a park in Washington, D.C., from an insider.
Whatever you think of Julian Assange, Brian and I have gone back and forth as to whether he's a patriot or whether he's a goat. He revealed truthful information. No one's denying that the stuff that he revealed was real. That's his version of where this information came from, and now there's corroboration for it. Look, there's one spy agency, the NSA. It produces the raw data. The FBI looks at it, interprets it one way. The CIA looks at it, interprets it another way. The CIA may have a desire to make Mrs. Clinton look good or Donald Trump look bad.
Wait, politics?
They're right. Their boss is a Barack Obama appointee. The FBI may have a desire to say, you know, there's just not enough evidence here for us to point a finger at Moscow.
Joe, yes, Judge, I don't know why I called you Joe. That's kind of an interesting thing.
That is the least offensive thing you've ever called.
That's true. That's true. We'll have a scroll at the end of the show. So, Judge, if you look at what the New York Times published yesterday, it was the chronicle of how this thing started. The president's known about this for since September of 2015. He chose to do absolutely nothing. In 2015, we didn't think Donald Trump was going to be leading the leading Republican, let alone be facing off with Hillary Clinton.
Look, there's a whole world out there that is below the fold, below the radar scope that we don't know about, which is the intelligence community. They have rivalries between them. They have ideological predilections. They have the same shortcomings as the rest of us. And intelligence, raw data, if it were here, it'd be difficult for the four of us to interpret it. But I can tell you this, two groups or two people looking at the same data can read the same thing and interpret it 180 degrees differently from each other. That's what happened here. So when Donald Trump says the Russians did not hack Mrs. Clinton, he's right. Somebody leaked from Mrs. Clinton's emails, but nobody went in there and altered her operational systems, which is what hacking does. If you want to change the outcome of an election, are you going to alter the candidates' operating systems, or are you going to alter the systems of the people who register the voters and count the votes?
So she has no one to blame but herself, because it was just leaked. Her emails were leaked.
She should have been blaming herself for a long time from the minute she decided to use the homebrew server.
2 weeks ago, the National Intelligence Director couldn't definitively say anything.
Judge, you got some good sources.
Pleasure. Thank you. Kill me. Stay away from that Madison stuff, would you?
Absolutely.
Madison Avenue.
And James Madison. All right.